Now, throughout the years, we've seen a multitude of Twitch streamers give their political opinions. In fact, some of them have literally made millions on that, and by some of them I mean Hasan Piker. That's pretty much the only one.
Dressed like a gay slave owner?
But Pokimane decided that she wanted to throw her hat in the political ring. Now, I do want to say that politics isn't for everybody, because people obviously are going to disagree with your opinions and they're going to come after you. And it's really odd that Pokimane, of all people, would decide to go into this field when she's notoriously very thin-skinned, to the point of where she'll cause huge dramas over small little statements like with Ninja, it's a Gundam, things of that nature. So for her to go into such a volatile field is actually pretty interesting, to say the least. But here's what she actually had to say about politics and her ideas on it.
I would like to facilitate the creation of legislation that holds people accountable for the actions that they do online. I don't know if I should get into the details because it might rattle some folks, but yes. I think there are some companies that I'm going to message, or not companies, organizations that are involved with certain causes, and I'll be like, listen, if you ever need someone to, I'm your girl. Because I think if you want to pass a bill, you usually go in front of a group of politicians and you explain your cause. I'm like, I'll do it. I will do it. I have so many things to say.
Having things to say is really nice, but Pokimane, if you somehow watch this, if you get added on or held on by one of these organizations, it will only be because of your name. It's not going to be because of your ability. I can say that right now with probably 80% certainty, because just the way you talk about this makes it sound completely like you have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, what group of politicians do you guys think she's thinking about going in front of with the bill? Because normally it would be like, you know, Congress or the House of Representatives. But like, why would she even want people to be held responsible for the things they say online? Like, let's say she's talking about like hateful things, right? Because we didn't get a lot of context here, and I'm not watching a Pokimane stream back. But let's say that she was talking about, oh yeah, so I want people who say hateful things to be taken down. Well, she said the N-word. Does that mean that she needs to be, you know, prosecuted in some way? She needs to have her platform taken away? And there's clips out there of her saying this is 100%, this is not, you know, some allegation or something. So like, what does she think is going to happen to her? Or is she specifically talking about like enemies that she has, that she's made like along the way? She wants them to answer for their misdoings or quote unquote crimes. I don't know, but people on Twitter had things to say about it, as they always do. So I'm going to go through a couple of tweets that I found interesting. Isn't there a video of her dropping an M-bomb on stream when she was like 20? Why is she throwing stones in a glass house about behaving herself online? The thing is, the type of stuff she ends up talking about is revenge porn. Something that's already illegal in all 50 states. The only way to further prevent that will be to basically forfeit anonymity online entirely. Again, she clearly has no idea what she's talking about, even in that little bite-sized piece we got there. And I don't understand what behavior she thinks is okay online. Like, it's not like she wants everybody to get along because she's done things to make people make less money. She's tried to hurt people's connections. So is she talking about regulating herself? Like, is she being remorseful? Or is it, again, rules for thee and not for me? I really don't understand. It feels very holier than thou, especially like he said, there being an obvious glass house. You would think with those types of skeletons in your closet, you would probably quiet down when it comes to accountability online, especially given how that clip's floating around and she's literally gotten no punishment for it other than like the clip floating around. Like, that's it. She wants to pass legislation and that in all likelihood will be abused to further restrict what you can say on the internet. And she also has no idea how the legislative branch of government operates. You know, this kind of reminds me of like that Article 13 drama that was going on like a while back. Even though it's bigger than a drama, it's like, you know, actual like stuff going down. Actual legislation going down in the EU, where they're basically going to have a bunch of creators on a multitude of platforms blocked, basically restricting the internet down in certain ways. I think the bill ended up getting passed, and that's an example of an abuse. People in government deciding, oh, well, we want our people to see this and this and this, but not this. Like, this isn't going to happen, but if it were to happen, it would, there's no way it ends up good. But she's not thinking about that. She's thinking about, oh man, I hate all the hate donos I get. I hate how people make fun of me on Twitter. I hate that stupid picture of me with no makeup that goes around every time I say something. It's probably going around now. I just want it to be done. I can use my clout in some way. I can probably affect legislation. Let me throw my hat in the ring. That's what she's thinking. She's not at all thinking about the long term, which is unfortunate, because you would think somebody who got that far in life would think about, hey, what are the effects of my actions? But unfortunately, she's not doing that. So streamers need thicker skin. Gives off, I want to earn my living streaming, but I don't want to worry about the hard part, which is dealing with the general public vibes. This is sad. People call me horrible things in my YT comments. I just heart them and move on. Lord. She wouldn't survive dealing with a crowd of people like she does on stream. Does she think everyone is nice IRL and not online or something? I think this is just Dunning-Kruger, and if you don't know, that's just an effect where someone feels like they don't realize how incompetent they are because they're just that incompetent, like they don't know what they don't know. And I feel like that's in full living, thriving effect here. She's just so like, oh, I can do this. It doesn't seem hard. People talk about politicians and say they're idiots all the time. I'm not an idiot. I think I can get the job done. And in my personal opinion, she can't. Okay, I don't think she knows the first thing about like actually getting into politics. Again, people will just be like, let's say you have a bill that you really want to get sponsored, and then a big creator like Pokimane, who has a lot of online pull, decides, hey, I want to support your cause. You're taking that instantly. Okay, but she's not going to be able to affect actual change, I don't think. And for some reason, she thinks that, all these people who have been doing it for years, oh, they can never do it, but I can, which is really arrogant, at least in my eyes. I disagree with certain things that go on, like everybody else does, but I don't personally think, oh man, put Jackson Doorknob in office. Let me be the mayor of my town, and then I'll graduate up to state senator, and I'll run for governor or senator, whichever one grants me the most opportunities, and then I'll work my way up to president. I don't think like that, okay? Because things are bigger than just, oh, I can get a bill. Like, what bill would she even introduce other than I don't even know, honestly. And I don't think she does either, which makes this all the more interesting. And I'm really interested in seeing her try to operate in this whole area. There's a lot of piranhas, and I think she's going to get eaten up. So I'm going to end it off here. Thank you all so much for watching. Merry Christmas, by the way. I almost left that part out. And goodbye.